The elite and the government are opening up portals. They're summoning demons, all with AI data centers. And I'm going to show you how they're doing it. All right, so remember back in 2014 when Elon Musk said this?
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon.
I have exorcised the demons.
All right, and we can't forget about Gordy Rose, the creator of D-Wave, quantum computers, and Kindred.
And these things that we're summoning into the world now are not demons.
They're not demons.
They're not evil, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want.
And if they're not opening up portals, and if they're not summoning demons, then why do some of the biggest tech giants in the world keep stating this? Last week we had an ex-employee of OpenAI tell the New Yorker that they're definitely opening up portals and summoning demons in Saudi Arabia. Why? And the craziest part is about all of this is that if you look at where the AI data centers are, they're located in areas that have high ET traffic. So why else are they doing that, And if you don't know who Gordy Rose is, I highly suggest doing a Google search on him, on his company D-Wave, Kindred, see what they've been up to. This is all information I shared with my community over a decade ago. So it's good to see that more and more people are becoming aware of all of these technologies and what they've really been up to in the shadows. Now, this clip right here,
it feels like an altar to an alien god.
Company D-Wave and his quantum computers have been able to tap into parallel universes.
Like 2 to the 500th power of these guys living in that chip.
Number of parallel universes. They've been able to tap into these parallel universes and basically steal resources from these, creating like a black hole, if you will, or a wormhole.
From the outside, they look like giant black monoliths, big metal boxes, about 10 feet on a side, 12 feet tall. And they are powered, they have a fridge inside them, a refrigerator that cools these chips to almost absolute zero. Just a wisp, a fraction of a degree above absolute zero. Hundreds of times colder than interstellar space. Amongst the coldest and most isolated and extreme conditions that humans have ever been able to engineer. These fridges, interestingly enough, which are called pulse tube dilution refrigerators, have a thing called a pulse tube, which emits a sound roughly once per second, which sounds eerily like a heartbeat. So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it is an awe-inspiring thing, at least for me. It feels like an altar to an alien god.
It feels like an altar to an alien god.
They really are impressive machines. At the heart of this big box is a tiny chip about the size of your thumbnail. And on this chip, there really are parallel universes out there. And now imagine you have two that are exactly identical in every respect, all the way out to the horizon as far as we can see, down to the last little atomic detail of every single thing, with only one difference. And that's the value of a little thing called a qubit on this chip, which is a contraction of quantum bit. And that qubit is very much like a bit or a transistor in a conventional computer. It has two distinct physical states, which we call 0 and 1 for bit. In a conventional computer, these are mutually exclusive. That device is either one or the other and never anything else. In a quantum computer, that device can be in this strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus, a point in space where they overlap. And when you increase the number of these devices, every time you add one of these qubits, you double the number of these parallel universes that you have access to, until such time when you get to a chip like this, which is about 500 of these bits, you have something like 2 to the 500th power of these guys, living in that chip.
Now, the crazy part is how CERN comes into all this and how the Mandela effect also plays into all this stuff. Now, as you just saw from that video with Gordy Rose talking about, almost an infinite number of parallel universes, that goes into the fact of timeline shifting, the Mandela effect, how, certain things that we remember from our childhood are one way, and now when you look them up, or if you ask people, they're a totally different way. So, lots of things to think about. I'll drop a part 2 if I got a lot of traction on this video. So like, share, comment, and let me know what you think.